We got a lot going on here on this bench. You've seen it a couple times now, but this is what I'm going to call my stage 2.5 build. Stage 3 will be when we get the billet, but this is about as close as you're going to get with the stock Chinese parts. Got the PK80 down here, stuffed the cases. That's to compensate for the added volume of my intake and my reed valve. Should balance things out pretty well. You can see I polished these cases up a bit. They look pretty good. Now in those cases, you can see we are using the standard clutch and we have the normal CDI for now. Normal magneto. However, I have offsetted the key to adjust the timing to where I want it. I'm putting the Dell'Orto PHBG 18mm carb on this build. I got the Malossi red air filter, the Trumpet Perfect, all stainless steel socket head cap screws, very nice hardware, new gaskets, new seals. Over here we have a very important piece. We got the main bearings. The black ones are high quality SKF bearings. I got the outstanding PK crank with the crowded needle bearing. You can see all them rollers in there. The heavy duty sprocket made for the 415 chain. I have my jug, ported intake, huge exhaust port. Look at that exhaust port. That is what you call a real exhaust port. Even on the outside, you can see how big that exhaust port is. I cut out a lot of the webbing in the transfer, blended everything super nice, polished it all up. It's not quite shined yet, still got to do that part of it. This jug should be pretty impressive. I certainly wouldn't recommend doing this to your transfers. It's not what I did, it's how I did it. You can see the tunnels are much larger, which should drastically improve my flow, which is important in this situation because the transfer is really lacking on these motors, and that's going to be a major difference with the billet jug. I've got the piston windowed, makes the piston much lighter. You can only do this with the reed valve. Also, it's going to greatly improve the flow of fuel and air across the little end, providing much more lubrication and cooler running of the piston crown. Got the famous billet head here. This thing is nice. I've already run it for a couple weeks now. Nice and shiny, heavy duty. You can see the fins are nice and thick. Super nice combustion chamber. It's actually 7 cc's versus the 8 cc of the standard head. The piston itself consumes 3 cc's. So you're looking at a 4 cc combustion chamber. High compression. Total motor output is determined by average pressure in the cylinder. That's during running in all stages. The higher your pressure, the higher your horsepower. Then we have the Malossi red air filter. Nice sticker came with that on my pipe. This is a Benassar pipe. No belly in this one. straight cone to cone, huge silencer, should actually run pretty quiet and produce a whole lot of power. I know a lot of people are concerned with the sound of the expansion chambers, but in a situation like this, with the silencer like that, I think it'll actually be fairly quiet. Just take a look at the diameter there. The thing is huge. You can get an idea of the diameter of the stinger back there. It's pretty small, which is actually very critical to the operation of the motor. So, we certainly have one heck of a motor here. I'm getting ready to throw this together with the utmost care and precision, because I love all these parts. We're going to put it back on the bike. Then I could take you for a ride and show you what it's all about. My nice little workbench, all my stuff here, sprockets, mounts to the disc brake. Don't run a motor like this on a rag joint. And then once again over here, all of my used parts. Every engine I get my hands on, I take apart. I just can't seem to keep them in one piece. Got some clutch shafts there, magnetos, intakes, carbs, bearings, pistons, rods, cranks, cylinders. Those are all cases. Normally I run a motor for a couple of weeks. I take it all apart back down to this level, inspect everything, and ensure that what I've installed in the motor can handle the power that I'm producing. Can't wait to get this thing on a dyno. Hopefully we can make that happen soon. I do believe we have a connection. This over here is another motor I'm getting ready to put together. This is for Flyby Taco. He sent it to me. Definitely a lot going on. Even though we do have some critics that seem to think we can't produce, I seem to think that all this shows the amount of work that we've invested into this. And it's been a substantial amount of work. Can't wait to get this together. Don't forget,